This is Pat Walker, Mission Winners. We're taking a look at the max list. These are the big name stocks, the institutional names that big money flows into them and out of them. And they're a great measurement of the strength or weakness of the market. So we're going to go through them and see what we find. Here's Q's. The Nasdaq 100 ETF fell on heavy volume Friday. Heavy. What's the one plus? One of the great tactics that a good investor does, looking at a chart, is look at the open, look at the high, look at the low, look at the close. This stock came down to approach the 50-day, bounced off of it, closed in the top half of its range. So there was some support there. Not a lot, but some. Heavy volume, which might indicate that, this little decline could be over. Am I forecasting that? We don't forecast. All I know is this. Today, or Friday, this came down hard and closed in the top half of its range. We'll watch and see. QLD, similar situation. Similar. Look at that. Closed in the top half of its range. We'll watch it and see. Again, we don't forecast. We're just taking a look. I'm going to clarify. If this had closed down here really near the lows, I'd be far more concerned. But we'll see what happens. Spiders, similar situation. Watch this. QLD, or QQQ, came down near the 50-day. Spiders didn't get as close to the 50-day. What does that indicate? The S&P 500, a little bit stronger than the Nasdaq 100. Same thing's true with SSO. Came down, closed right at the 21 EMA. IWM bounced off the 50-day. Going to go back here and show you something. Did not touch, QQQ did not touch the 50-day, right? QLD got close to the 50-day. SPY did not get near the 50-day. SSO did not get near the 50-day. IWM fell below the 50-day, closed above it. Just by knowing that, what does that tell you? That at this moment, small caps are a little bit weaker. TNA, similar situation, leverage. Now let's look at the max list. Here's Apple. In a wicked market Friday, what did Apple do? It actually closed up on the day. One of the things I encourage you to do, color code your bars. Red is a down bar, green is an up bar. Okay, yellow is a neutral bar. I don't see any neutrals here, okay, or an unchanged bar. It will help you. And don't just do it with price, do it with volume. So you can quickly see, like right here, this bar here, folks, is that a good bar or a bad bar? That's a bad bar. Closed down on heavy volume, all right? It will help you. Apple bounced off, fell through, and bounced off the rising 21 EMA and actually closed up a little bit on the day. Now, am I saying, oh, let's go crazy and buy it? No, I'm just saying that, and you'll see what I mean, relative to other max list stocks, Apple did better on Friday. There you go. Amazon gaps down, falls hard, bounces off the rising 50-day, that's the green line, and did it on a pickup in volume. Perhaps, we'll know more, perhaps it found support at the 50-day and it can base out and start to go again. But we'll let price and volume tell us. We won't impose our will on it. It did close below where it opened and volume was heavy. But it did close well off its lows in the top half of its range on the daily bar. Here's the next chart. Alibaba. Look at this. Now I'm going to go do something for you. Amazon down to the 50-day. Alibaba didn't get close to the 50-day. Gap down, fell, actually closed above. I'm going to enlarge this for you to help you. That's the open, that's the high, that's the low, and that little hash there, that's the close. What do you note about this bar? It closed above where it opened. It found support. That's a plus. Things to take into consideration. Some strength there, and volume was decent. Bouncing off the 21 EMA. Something to look at. Baidu. Baidu closed near its highs, but it's below the 50-day. There's not a lot of leadership here. I want to show this again. This is trending up. It's just going sideways here for months. There's not a lot of power with that at this point in time. Could that change? Yeah, but do we need to consider it right now? No, not really. It's below the 50-day. See the 50 days, the green line? It's below it. Let's move on. Facebook. What did this do? It's above the 50-day. It's above, it bounced off, fell, and closed above the rising 21 EMA. It's below the falling 8 EMA. Could this lift off? Possibly. What could be an entry? Take out Friday's highs. Possible. Something to watch. Goldman Sachs just going sideways. What catches your eye? Well, A, it's going sideways when the market got hit fairly hard, nothing bad, and it actually closed up on the day on Friday, bouncing off the 200-day and the 50-day. A plus. Something to take into consideration, just for what it's worth. Here's the next one for us. Google. Google rallied up and fell hard, all right, on volume. 2 heavy volume bars. These are wide range bars, folks. There's nothing really tight, clean and tight and simple about this. So be careful with it, falling on volume. Netflix. You say, oh, there's another example, Pat. Look at this. This fell hard too. True, but go back and look at Google. Always, this is to me is a great study for us. Every bar talks. We just got to learn to listen to it. On this bar, it opened here. See the little hash mark to the left? Fell down and closed here. It closed below where it opened and closed in the bottom half of its range. Go back to Netflix. Netflix gapped, see it right here? Gapped down, fell hard, and closed in the top half of its range on pretty good volume. Now, did it close below where it opened? Yes, but it closed in the top half of its range with support off the 50-day. Something to take into consideration. And it closed above the 21 EMA. Google closed below it. Netflix closed above it. So which is stronger? Netflix exhibiting a little bit more strength. Nvidia. Nvidia had a good run. This is VIPs have owned this. This has been really good. Gaps down, falls really hard on heavy volume. Falls below the 21-day, but then it recovered into the end of the day and actually closed above the 21 EMA. Is there a really great entry on this at this moment? No, but we'll watch it and see what happens tomorrow. Perhaps tomorrow it will lift off and take off the highs of today. There you go. See how we're framing it up? By the way, if I wasn't talking, just doing this, you could say, boy, this is an involved exercise. Heck, fire. You train your eyes. This is what we do. This is what we coach. You can go through this list in a matter of several minutes, and you've got great merchandise, great opportunity. Square. What did Square do? Square gapped down versus the previous day, fell hard, bounced off the 50-day, that's the green line, and closed. Where did it close? In the top half of its range. Found some support there on a pickup in volume. Perhaps it'll start to lift again. On all of these, I can't stress enough, you got to have good market action too, okay? Bad market, you don't do anything. All right? Always remember, just because the grocery store is open doesn't mean we need to go shopping. Something to remember. Goofy, but true. Now look at Tesla. Tesla gapped down versus Thursday, fell hard, and then reversed and closed up on the day on a pickup in volume. They supported it there. They bought it. That looks really good. Now, news came out this weekend. We'll have to watch it and see what it does. I don't know. I mean, this was a great run for us here. All right? This was a great run for us here. Hundreds of points, okay, on a $400 stock. So we'll watch it and see what happens. What would we like to see? Game plan. Takes out Friday's highs on a pickup in volume, bouncing off the 21 EMA, pushing through the 8 EMA. Perhaps there's an opportunity there. Twitter, a little bit loose here. Okay, it's kind of in no man's land now, closed in the bottom half of its range. Again, Tesla closed in the top fourth of its range or top third of its range. Twitter closed right its bottom half of its range by just a hair. So nothing great there. Now, that being said, looking at the chart action the last 3 days, price and volume, what do you see happened 3 days ago? The stock gapped up, closed near the highs on really heavy volume. That was a plus. It was lifting off, all right, and rallied into this. Lost it all. We'll have to watch it and see what happens. What held this back? News on Twitter? Not really. Just the market. You can say, well, what do you mean? Here's Twitter. Here's QLD. When I say just the market, yeah, there you go. All I can say is, ugh. Here's the next one. Hey, you know what? I got an idea. We should make we should make it an ETF that just specializes in shorting the indexes, and the ticker symbol, UGH, UGH. You heard it here first. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, here's Visa. Visa lifted off, ground up, never really had powerful volume, and took it right back down. What's the lesson here? You have to watch the action of the stock and watch the action of the markets. Selling some into strength would have helped. If you had bought this here, okay, on this bar, look at the volume pickup, lifting across those tops, and go up here and say, I'm just going to own it. Well, guess what? At one time, you basically let about a 16-point profit turn into a loss. I don't like that, do you? No. So, heavy volume here, wide range bar, heavy volume. Just watch it and see what happens. Sister stock, MasterCard, similar situation. Wide range bar, closed in the bottom half, heavy volume, leave it alone. Last one I want to show you is Microsoft. Microsoft, there's talk about Microsoft in relation to TikTok. Don't know what's going to happen there. Things to be aware of. But this stock fell on heavy volume on this bar. Fell on heavy volume on this bar. What's the plus on this bar, team? What's the part? What do you see? It gapped here, gapped down, fell hard, bounced, and closed in the top half of its range on a pickup in volume. That's a plus. Now, am I saying let's buy it? No, I'm just saying it found support on the 50-day. Something to consider this. This isn't a secret. Everybody in the world knows about the 200-day. Everybody in the world knows about the 50-day. Everyone in the world knows about the 21-day or the 21 EMA. Okay, it's not a secret. Everybody knows about the 8 EMA. All right? Simple. I've been using this moving average right here. There's probably about close to a year of research in the 8 EMA. And we refined that with my trading partner from years ago. At the start of the century, folks, how about that? A lot of work. A lot of work went into this moving average. A lot of research. Anyway, wanted to share with you. This is for everybody, and I hope it helps you. And have a good day off, too. Get away and relax. Thank you.